Okay.
Thank you.
So as I said before, I usually like to start with how to add a class, how to create a class, and how to add your students. This is the projects page, and on the left side, one of the sections says my classes, and it has a plus button next to it. When you click on the plus button, there's two options: join class and create class. You will go to the create class, and to create a class, just name the class, whatever, my new class, and whatever the subject is, and the grade level if you want to add a grade level. So in this case, this is higher ed, and then just create. And so this class was created, and what you see here is just me, because I am the teacher, and you will see yourself. And here it says, okay, you need to import students. And it says, if you use Google Classroom, you can import them. But if you don't, then you need to provide them with the student sign up link, which is here in the class. But I will also send it to you via that email that I promised you immediately after this session. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So let's to do that, basically when you are not Google Classroom, you're going to copy this link. Okay. And you're going to provide this link to your students. Okay. Only for the first time. You're going to provide this only for the first time to your students. And then they will sign up. That will help them sign up to Project Pulse. Once they are signed up, then you will also have to. This is the class that you just created, and you will also have to provide them with a class code. And if you see on the top, it says my new class, and it says class code. There's a little square next to it. Click on it, because that's going to provide you the class code in big, and just copy it and provide that class code to your students. So so let me explain again. This link, the one that says student sign up link, only for the first time you provide to your students. That helps them sign up. And you also provide them with the class code also. Now, once they have both, they will be part of the system. This will help them be part of the system, and the class code will help them be part of the class.
Okay.
Okay?
Got it.
After that, after you provided them with a sign-up link and they are part of the system and part of the class, you provide them with the sign-in link. I will provide you with a sign-in link in the email that I promised you. And basically the sign-in link is app.projectpulse.com. When they click on it, then it takes them to either log in or sign up. And they will log in. They will, next time, the second time they are logging in. So from the second time on, it's all logging in. It's not, okay. This is how a class looks. And let me just take you to another class where I already have stuff in it. And so in a class, you have a section that's called projects. This is a menu that's called projects. Under project, you'll see all your student projects in that class. Even if you see the images the same, you can distinguish between them by the names that are showing up on each project tile. You know who is in each of these. So here's Daniel and Benjamin, and here's Sid and Darren. So you'll see by the names that are showing up here. Whose project it is, okay?
Okay.
All right. Now, the next menu item in the class is members. In members, as you've seen before, you know, the name that there was, this is where your name is going to show up. And on the right side, your students' names are going to show up. Once you give them that, that sign up link and the class code, they will show up here in the class like that. Okay. Now, this is also the place where if you decide to co-teach the class with somebody else,
Mm-hmm.
Also provide them with that same class code on the top. Okay, so you copy that, provide this. Now again, if that teacher is not part of the system, you need to provide them with a teacher sign up link. I will give you all that in that email that I promised you.
Okay.
So there will be a teacher sign up link, there will be a student sign up link, and there will be an admin. There's, sometimes in schools, there's somebody who is the admin, who has top level, qualifications to handle the system. So these, so that's, this is how you add somebody to co-teach the class with you by giving them that class code. And then this is also the way by which, let's say that you decide that you want your students to collaborate with the class in China. Okay? This is how you provide them first with the sign up link, but then you also give them the class code, and they will be able to add themselves to this class exactly like any other student here in the United States. It doesn't matter. From all over the world, you can add students to a specific class and have them collaborate together. Okay. Okay? All right. The next one is assignments. Now, this has to do with how you assign the project to a class. I told you in our demo that there's two ways to assign projects to the class. One of them is when you decide ahead of time which team members are going to be in which project. So in this case, there were 3 projects that I assigned. I also decided who will be in each team. So the projects landed in projects with each team here having their own tile for the project. But let's say that you decide to assign it to a team leader and you want to allow the team leader to decide on their own who is going to work with them in the team. In that case, that project is going to land in assignments. And it will show up on the top usually, and it will say usually not started. And you click on the not started, and then the team leader, whoever that student is, will log into the system and will start the assignment. I'll show you that in a minute when I show you how to assign a project to a class. Okay. But that's I just wanted to let you know what is the third menu item in a class. So that's the assignment when you assign it to a team leader who will then decide who will work with him or her in the team. And, in the case of university, this may be probably more fitting for a university because they can usually decide who will work with them. This, the other method is more for an elementary, not elementary school, but K to 12, but this is more like university style. And then there's settings, and settings usually you can change the name of the class. You can archive the class. Let's say that you made a mistake, or you just finished this class and you want to archive it. You can archive the class here. And you know how the analytics is showing for students? There are teachers who think that that is too competitive and they don't want the students to see any analytics. You can turn it off here if you decide not to show them analytics. Right now, it has another one that says chat. We removed our chat system, but we are replacing it with a better one that's coming up soon. So right now, this is not relevant, but it will be soon. Okay, so so that's basically the class. So I showed you everything about the class. Let me now start the process from the beginning. Let me go to the Project Pulse catalog, which is the way that we recommend that you start. And let me show you how, let's go to a project in the starters section here. Now, again, for university, I don't think I recommend this, but, usually for schools, we recommend that you start in a starter project just to have them, to whet their appetite. Or they're not appetite, but to whet their curiosity about Project Pulse so that they get used to it, how Project Pulse works. And these projects are very, as I said, only one tab usually. So let's say that you are assigning to them a brainstorming template that, this is actually 2 tabs. And so what you do is you usually, first of all, to check out the project, you click inside, you click on the name. And you click on the name, and then you put you inside the project. And you can now close this and just look through the project and see this is a brainstorming session where students are adding them brainstorming ideas. This looks like a real sticky note, and each of them has their own color. And basically, students can replace whatever is written here with their ideas. And if they need to add more, they just click on the 3 dots and go to create copy. And when they create copy, they create more sticky notes with their own color. This is the way you can distinguish between the students and know who did what, who added what. And you can also add images or videos or anything that adds information to their ideas. I mean, they can add. And it also has a little bit of, guidelines here that says, build on each other's ideas, generate lots of ideas, so on and so forth. So this is one way to do brainstorming. This is one way. And there's another way to do brainstorming here. There's a different method. This method starts with the main idea in the center. And then the students are producing a lot of related ideas. And then each related idea has its own related ideas.
Right.
This is actually when you already have a good understanding and knowledge of the subject, and you have a lot of related ideas, and you can basically delve deeper and deeper. But this can be actually the foundation for writing an essay, because once you break it down to all these related ideas, you already have the foundation to start writing the essay. So, this is very detailed, I should say. This is less detailed. This is more like, in general, we want to give some ideas to people. So once you review this, and of course, each of them has its own instructions. So there's a whole instructions box here, and also a video that tells the student how to work in each of these. And once you're happy with this brainstorm template, and let me go back to the catalog and go to it, and go to the starter ones. And now I hover over it and I click on clone. I will clone this because in the catalog, it's read only, you cannot change anything. But when you clone it, it becomes your copy. And your copy will always show up in my drafts next to the plus button. So it tells you your project is being cloned, refresh this page in a few minutes to see it. So we are waiting for it to, let's just try to refresh because this is not a big project, and here it is. So it is here in next to the plus button. This is my copy now. And when you do it, it's going to be your copy. Okay. Now you can go in and do anything, change stuff in it, do whatever you want in it, when you open this up. So let's just go into the project. And now what you can do is, as I said before, you can now assign it to the class. Now, before you assign it to the class, there's a lot of things to do. So one of them is, if you want to change things inside here, remove these images or do whatever, you can do that at this point. And change stuff and so on, change the fonts, whatever you want to do. And then once you did that, you also should go into the dashboard here. And, you can change the details of the project. You can change the video if you want to, change the description. All these things you should go over before you assign it to the class, because once you assign it, all these things are there and they are not changeable anymore. Okay, so now team members, of course, team members will show, right now it's only your name is going to show up here, but once you assign it, their names will show up here. And then standards, if you want to add standards, you can do that here. This is the time to add standards, to decide, which one. And to add standards is easy, just click. We have a few standards here. I don't know if universities are using standards, but
not really.
We have something that's called the Common Core. We have NGSS for science. We also have special state standards like California, Iowa, Texas, and whatever we are getting, we can all add them up here. And to select standard, just select, let's say I'm selecting the Common Core, then I'm selecting a subject, and in this case, I'm selecting, let's say, English language, and then I'm selecting a grade level, let's say I'm selecting 11, 12, and then it gives me all the standards, 11, 12, and I can now check mark which ones apply, and I can add selected standards, and here they are. All 3 of them that I selected are added now to the standards. Okay.
Can standards by manually input?
So yeah, we are working on adding it. It's going to take another month until you have it here that you can copy and paste.
Okay.
Yes, it will be here for sure. It's part of our development queue. It's there to, we actually had it, but we made changes to the application, and our development team dropped it for some reason. I don't know why. Sometimes they do weird things like that. Okay, so and then after standards, supporting materials. And supporting materials is, you know, you can add as a teacher, you know, whatever subject you have. I don't know, I'm gonna just put in here brainstorming, and I'm gonna look free tool. No, that's not what I'm looking for. And brainstorming, creativity, techniques for mind tools, whatever. Let's say I'm clicking on that. And then I'm going to select the URL on the top, copy it, go back to Project Pause, and go to add material. And when it says insert URL, I'm going to paste and go. And now this course is going to show up here. And then your students can click on the link. It will open in a new tab. You and your students can add standards, both. Okay. All right, now not standards, can add the supporting
materials.
Tasks. So tasks, this is, you know, this is project management. It's very important. We want students to get used to project management because that's what they will have in life. And so we like to distinguish project management to 2 types. The type that you are assigning as a teacher, you go there and you say new task, and you know, work on the first brainstorming tab or whatever. And then you set a due date here, and whatever the due date is, and then you describe the, you know, I'm just going to put here test, and then you press submit. Now, clearly, you see that there was no you were not able to assign it to a specific student because you did not assign this project yet. These are what we call top level tasks that are going to get to every student. Now, you will give more general tasks in these top level tasks. Then the students take your top level tasks and they break it down to individual tasks to each of them. Okay. So, you know, I will do this and you will do that, and so on. So basically they will make it very individual, and you'll see that when we assign this to a team, the team names are going to show up here with a check mark. So you'll be able to check mark who is doing it, you know, or they will be able to check mark. Both teachers and students can create tasks. So like I said, okay. All right. Then assign to class, and this is the assign to class. So let's say that now I'm going to click assign to class, and I'm going to select one of these classes, not the one that I created here, my whatever, which I created for you, but I'm going to, because I need a class where I have students already there. So I'm going to select, let's say, class A. Okay. Now, when I select a class, these 2 buttons are enabled, and it says create teams, one of them, and the other one skip teams and assign. So create teams is when you want to assign the teams. You will set exactly who will be in which team. Skip teams and assign is when you are assigning the project, but you are delegating. And then the team leader needs to come in and start the project. So let's say I'm choosing the first method, skip team, no, not skip teams, add create teams. And when I click on it, it gives me the roster. the classroom roster.
Mm.
And then I start doing it. And I said, okay, Benjamin is going to work with Sid, and Darren is going to work with Elizabeth, add to team. And then finally, I have Daniel working by himself.
Oh.
And then, so I have the 3 teams created, okay? And now it says finish and assign. So I'm going to click on finish and assign. And now it's telling me, okay, the assignment processing, check the class in a few minutes, because what's happening is that it takes and copies it for each team, the same project. So it takes a few minutes. That's why you need to wait a little bit. And then the projects will show up here.
Oh, okay. So they each have their own portal.
Each of have their own project, yes.
Okay.
Exactly. So if let's see if I'm here, they were just created. And the reason they were created so fast is because they only have 1 tab. When you have more than 1 tab, like a very lengthy project, that will take more time. Okay, so take this into consideration.
Okay.
So here you see that we have exactly what we did. We did Sid and Benjamin, Darren and Elizabeth, and Daniel working by himself. So these are the 3 projects that were just created for, for this class. Okay, now let's go back for a minute and let's go to the second method that I showed you. Let's go to the catalog. And this time I'm going to choose lesson plans, and I'm going to choose a more lengthy project. And so let's say that I'm going to choose, which one should we choose? I don't know, news show production.
Okay.
And I'm going to go there and I'm going to clone it first. So every single one of these needs to be cloned. Okay. So it's being cloned. Refresh this page in a few minutes. So we're going to wait a few minutes and then it will show up here. Let's see if it already did it. Yes. Okay. It was done. As I said, every single one you clone always shows up next to the plus button. And so, okay, so now you can click on it and open it up. And this time you're gonna, and you see, this is a very long project. It has a lot of tabs. Okay. Now you will go to assign to class. And this time, let's say I'm going to assign it to class B. And I'm going to not choose create teams. I'm going to choose skip teams and assign. The second button. And it says, okay, assignment created. So let's see, we are going into class to assignments. And here on the top, it says news show production. Now in this class, let's see who are the members. Okay, we have, okay. So now what is going to happen is I'm going to have Elizabeth, one of the students in this class, I'm going to have her sign in. And let's see, Elizabeth here. And Elizabeth signs in and she will go now to class B because she's a team leader. You know, you told her she's a team leader. She goes to class B. She goes to assignments and she sees news show production not started. And she opens it up and she goes start assignment. Here there's a button, a blue button on the bottom there. And then it says, if you are part of a group, only the group leader should start the assignment. So she confirms that she understands this. And then she gets the roster. And this is when she can decide, okay, I'm going to do this with Daniel. Okay. And then she presses start. Okay. And it says your project is being created. Again, it asks for time because this is many tabs. It probably will take a little bit more time to do. Okay. All right. So that's how I'm not going to refresh yet. We'll come back to it in a few minutes. All right. Now let's go to you know what? We can actually check it from from, I'm going to sign out from Elizabeth's account and go back to my account.
Mm.
And we will be able to see it in class B. Okay. So let's go to class B. Let's see if it was already created. Yes, it was created. Here it is, Daniel and Elizabeth. And she picked him, and they are showing up, both of them are showing up under that projectile. She will also have in her portal, like you said, she will also have the same thing. So she can access it from there. And you can access it from your account as a teacher.
Okay.
All right, so that's that. Now let me go, since I showed you only one way to create a project, and that was the only way I showed you is to go to the Project Pulse catalog and clone a project. There are other ways. So cloning, this is what so basically the reason we recommend that you start with the catalog is because until you get used to how things are working in Project Pulse, it's probably a good thing for you. But once you know how it works and everything, you can design your own project. You don't need the catalog anymore. Okay. So in that case, there are two options. Option number one is you create on the plus button and you use the project wizard. And so, you know, whatever, I'm going to call it my new project. And then it moves you, and you can even describe the project if you want. You can describe it later as well. So you don't have to fill it out here if you don't want to. And then you can add an image. So I don't know, let's just add an image here for this. And let's see, we are doing this about, I don't know, project. And let me go to images, Google Images, and take a project image here. I don't know, let's take this one. And then copy image address. And then I'm moving back to Project Pulse and inserting that URL here. And just click OK. And then what it does, now the two options I said, one of them is that you are using our one-tap templates. And one-tap templates, I told you already, each of them is doing one thing. So this is doing brainstorming. This is doing an introduction to a project. And it already has some scaffolding ready for you. So you don't have to do everything from scratch. If you decide to do that, that's an option. So let's say that your project starts with an observation, okay? And you want your student to observe something. And then you add another phase. The next phase is problems based on observation. So you're going to add that too. And then finally, let's say it gives you more options here, but these options are not enough. You click on more templates. And when you click on more templates, it has a lot of choices here for you that you can select from. So problem based on observation. And finally, let's see what else can we add here. Maybe an ideate template. And I'm going to press save. Okay. And now I'm going to go and press finish here. And that took all these tabs and put them in one project for you. So here is my new project. And here are all the tabs. It starts with a question, with observation. It moves, and you see it already has for the students when they observe to come up with their own questions and to also use the sticky notes to type up their observations. And then problems based on observation. So here they will come up with the problems that they identified. And here finally they come up with some, you know, they will connect ideas to solution, the problems to the solutions. So they have all these three. You don't need to design this again. You already have it. You can change stuff in it as much as you want, but you don't have to do it from scratch. So that's possibility number one. Possibility number two is when you do the whole thing from scratch. In that case, project from scratch, and I'm going to skip the description, and I'm going to skip the image this time. And now you are not selecting any of these. You're selecting the one that says blank.
Mm.
And then you're going to finish immediately. And it adds for you, here is your project, the new one from scratch.
Mm.
And here it created for you one tab, which is empty. Basically, this is ready for you to start your project from scratch. You get nothing in it, okay? Now, in case that you actually forgot and you would like to add maybe one tab from the templates, you can still do it, because you can click on the plus button on the top. And this is where you add another new tab from scratch, from that, empty tab. But here, new tab from template, you still get our one tab templates here that you can select from. And we have much more, by the way. Our team is in the process of updating all our one tab templates. So there's much more here than you see here right now. And then you just add whatever you want to add to it, whatever, innovation, brainstorm, let's say that you want to add that one to here. And here it gives you everything that you need for an innovation brainstorm. And so basically that's how you do this. So this is how you these are the 3 ways of creating new projects in Project Pulse. Okay.
Okay.
All right, so now let's see all the tools that we have, and I'm just going to go in here to my new project for that purpose. And so what you see here, I'm going to get back to this tool later. This is the text tool. So when you click on the A, then it's for you an empty text box. And of course, you can click inside and you get all the editing tools on the top. Change fonts, change sizes, whatever you need to do. So you just explore these. I'm sure you're familiar with text boxes. You can also resize the text box and do whatever you need to do. You can also color it. You have something that's called the format item, and you can color the text box if you need to have a colored text box or whatever you need to have. And this is also the way by which we are doing our sticky notes, because it says here, mark with pin. And when you mark with pin, it adds a little pin there. It gives the impression that this is a sticky note. Okay. All right, so that's the text tool. This is the media tool. These are the, to add new media, you click on the plus button here. You can browse for a media from the hard drive. So it immediately opens for you the selection, and you can select one from the hard drive. And this is where you add a URL from the internet, like I showed you before. And the types of media that you can add: images, websites, PDFs, YouTube files, videos, MP3 files, any Office 365 file, and you will get the exact icon of whatever file that is. So
okay.
Spreadsheet, you'll get an icon of a spreadsheet, and so all those. You can also add any Office 365 file, not the ones that you're working on the computer, the ones that are sitting on the web. Okay, those can be shared, and then you can provide here the shared link, and that will be included here as well. And then, yeah, so those are the types of things that you can add here. You can change names of files. So if I want to change this one to, instead of saying images, I can say this observing or something. And then I click on the check mark here, and it changes the name to observing. And then to add an image to the workspace, you click on it, and then you place on workspace. And then once you have it there, then you can resize it and do whatever you want to do with it. Okay. When you add videos, And let me just add a video here for this. It has to be YouTube, because we only support YouTube videos. So we can say
Oh,
here, I don't know, instead of project, I'm going to say photosynthesis. And here is a YouTube photosynthesis video. I can click on it, and then I can go to share, where it says share, copy that link from the share, and then go back to Project Pals, click on the media, click here, insert URL that I just copied, and you see that it gives you that little thing that says that this is a video. You click on it, place it on the workspace, and resize. And when you want to play it, you double click. It opens in a special window.
All right.
That's how you play that. Okay. So that's video. Music files, maybe this is a special one that I need to show you. I'm going to click again on the media, click on the plus button, and now I have a music file in my hard drive here that I can share with you. Here, Mozart. I have a Mozart. I'm going to put it there. And you'll see how that is a little bit different. That's why I'm showing it to you. And so you see the icon looks like a sound file. You click on it, you place it on the workspace. And this time you're not double clicking. You are clicking on the three dots, and when it says play, just play. On the bottom, look on the bottom, there is a control. So here you can play with the volume, you can play with stop and start, and so on. So that's how this works. That's how sound files are working.
Okay.
So if you're doing a podcast or something like that, the kids can record themselves, upload it to YouTube, and then or to an MP3 source, and download the MP3 file to here, and then listen to them, listen to whatever they are saying. So, and the rest is, as I said, the rest is the same. There's nothing different about that. Then here are the question tools. This is a question tool. It has a label that says question, and you know what to expect. You expect a question on the top. This is more because Project Pals is such a visual platform, and it helps in the visualization of all kinds of situation, especially here, for example, here when you display the problems, or here even better, here when in the ideate, where you see how the problems are connected to the solutions. So question is a separate entity because it's such an important thing in project-based learning. Questions are very important. But we also have, and that comes up next, we also have the analysis styles, the ones that you see here. The ones that are called problem and solution. These are analysis styles. And I'm going to show you how that is being created. So let's say, and I'm going to skip a few. So first of all, let me show you the question. When you click on the question tool, it gives you an empty question box. And you can start typing. This is my question, or whatever your question is. Type it in here. If you don't want to reformat every time, you can just click on it and create copy. And then you just type your new question in here. I said I'm going to skip these two for a minute because these are advanced tools, and I'm going to come to them in the end. And then this was the analysis styles. These are the analysis styles. So I mentioned that, for example, problems, this is an analysis style. And the label kind of indicates what to expect here, that you're expecting to see here a short sentence about the problem. And the default, as you see here, are problem, solution, and evidence. They already exist. But let's say that I need another tile that's called cause. I can type it up. I can click and type in here cause. And then this is my cause, or this is the cause, or whatever, of whatever. And then I'm gonna create it. And when I create it, where is it? Can I drop it somewhere? Huh. Oh, maybe. Oh, that's weird. Let me do another one. Okay. Perfect. Oh, whatever. It actually worked. Yeah. It doesn't display it. Maybe I discovered the. Oh, here it is. Both of them are here.
Oh, on top of
Hiding
one
on top
another.
of the picture.
Mm.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So, so here it is. You know, you created two different types of tiles, and you know that here you're expecting to find the cause. Here you're expecting to find an effect, and you can then use the relationship tool. And let me now show you how the relationship tool, which is the last tool here on here, and then it has two of them. One of them is drawing, and the drawing tool is just you know, you have only straight lines and squiggly lines, nothing special. But next to it is the relationship tool, and you click on it, and then you go to the thickness and the line type, whether it's straight line or broken line. You decide on how thick it is, whether it ends with an arrow, and then a color. And then when this is selected, then all of these items have the little purple dots, and then drag from one purple dot to the other and connect them together. And even say that, you know, this problem maybe leads to, and then create, and here it is, okay? And so this is, and you can then put another one here that says, that this cause leads to this problem. So there you go. This is how you use the relationship tool, and this is how you make mind maps with connections between them. Okay. All right. So these are, as I said, now let's say that, and maybe the best place to show it, and not for me to do it now, is to go to one of the completed projects, and let me go to this project, to the one about green building basics. And this is the annotation tool. The annotation tool is the second from the bottom. And when you click on it, then it opens up and you type a name, and this is the name that you type in. Here you put an image or a video, and here you put an explanation for some phenomena that you want to zero in on in some picture, in some image or something. And then you can also change the color, by the way. It doesn't have to be just blue. It can be green or any of these colors that you want. And it can also, you can also make it just so it shows the label. So you can select just show the label, please. And then it doesn't show that icon that takes up so much space. So this is how it looks. So this is a greenhouse. This is the way, this is a greenhouse. And they show you how this greenhouse was built. And the part was built by some method. You know, the roof, there's an insulation in the roof. And, you know, and then you put in here information about how the insulation was created, you know, insulating the roof. And then you put here a video about insulation and an explanation here. And so when the students click, they kind of zero into that phenomena. Oh, this is how the roof was built. And then this is how the solar panels that are also part of it, you know, and so on. So basically, this is the idea. When I was thinking about annotation tools, this is what I was thinking about. The ability to zero into phenomena like this. See. So that's the annotation tool. Let me now, so we were here. And so I showed you annotation, I showed you relationship, showed you the analysis styles. Let me go to a project where I have the ability to show you both the, where is it? It's here. So this is a project about design the city of your dreams. And one of the section is called the governance. So this is our component tool. The component tool is tool number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, number 5. When you click on it, then you type a name for the component, and then you put an image. You can choose an image from the computer or from the URL, or from the project media, which is, you open it like this, and then it lists it, and you can select from the project media. There are all the images here. You can select any of these and add it as a component image, or add new ones. And once you have it, then let me show you. If I click here, I'm going to edit the item. I'm going to click on the 3 dots and edit the item. So again, so what's happening? Why are we using components? We are using components because we are trying to show the governance in the city. And we are showing here that the mayor is the one that's heading the city. Underneath the mayor, there's the city council and the city manager. And the city manager is actually controlling all these jobs, the energy administrator, the sanitation, and so on. And using the relationship tool, you can show the hierarchy, how the whole thing works. But what's great is that you don't have to make an essay about each of these roles, because you can use the component tool. And the component tool was built in purpose so that you describe this role with characteristics, with the short sentence characteristics. So, so one of the things that it says here, replace this text with one functionality that the mayor is responsible for. And so the mayor runs the city, one of them. And you just replace it with another thing. What else does the mayor do, and so on. So that's the idea behind this. And then when you click on the brand, on the eye here, it shows all the branches of, of whatever the characteristics that you typed up for the mayor. And it will display about 6 of these characteristics on the workspace. And after 6 is going to have like arrows up and down that you can scroll through, which means that basically you can add unlimited characteristics, as much as you have. Okay. And so that's the purpose. As I said, components are the main parts of a problem. In this case, the governance, they are trying to describe the governance. You can add images to each of these branches that describe them. So for example, the city manager is the chief executive of the city. He oversees the city staff, and so on. So all these things, you can change these, replace with the actual job that the city manager is doing. Okay, so that's the component tool. Now let me show you another one here. When I'm going to the city history, we have another computational thinking tool. So the component was one, and this is the second. This is the second tool. So if components are in charge of the main parts of the project, then events are the processes. What processes? Processes or timelines. So you can use them for both. And it doesn't have to be in sequence, although it has numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, but it doesn't have to be in sequence, as long as all these steps are actually presenting some phenomena that, that all these things are related to. But you can also use the events tool as a timeline. In this case, it is a timeline, because what we are using it for here is we are using it for the history of my city, a timeline. And each of this are steps in the history. And where it says here date, it means that it wants you to replace the word date with the actual date for each of these milestones. So let me just see how you create an event. This is tool number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you click here and you type the name of the event, whatever it is, and you add an image. I showed you already. And then when I edit this, just to show you, you see that here the name is the history of my city, a timeline. There is an image of it. And then you go next. And it says, and it starts with the first milestone. 11 families create a settlement which was in Los Angeles. So this is where I am right now. So it starts by that. In what year? In 1781. And so, you know, and so you understand that you will keep adding milestones to the city, you know, and add the dates. You can also reorder them in case that dates that have meaning. You can reorder. It has arrows up and down that you can reorder things. And delete steps if you need to. The same with components, by the way, you can delete steps. And you have here something that here, this is where you add the date. When you click, yeah, you need to type it because we wanted to allow you to also write 400 AD if you need to. So that's why we don't have a drop-down calendar here. And then the next one here is, and let me add a new one for here. Okay, now let me say that I wanted, so here the one next to the date, is a little marker like in a map, in a Google map. When you click on it, then you can search for something. So let's say that I am searching for Beijing, China. And then I'm pressing save. And then I'm doing save here. Now I told you that there's 3 ways to present events. One of them is to show there's steps like this, as you see here, all the steps. You can go from step to step and show exactly what happened in each. And the other one is to show in gallery mode. In gallery mode, you see the image big and you see the text on the bottom small. And this is how you move. There's no more pictures. That's why you don't see any more here. But that's the idea. And the third way is to show it on a Google map. So you click on maps and you click again inside any of these markers and it opens up a Google map. And here it shows you the steps. Step number 1 is here. And number 2 is here. And 3 is here. Okay. And so on. So you can see exactly, you know, and what's going on here. And let's see. And the last one was number 7, which is Beijing over here, but it doesn't have information, but that's the idea. Okay, this is how you can actually also create a timeline with locations and what happened in each location. So that's the events tool. So I actually introduced you to all the tools here.
That's really awesome.
Yeah. What else? Although you have the one-tap templates, you can actually copy anything, from any project. Let's say that you decide you need this tab in your project. You can do this. You can click on the city history here and you can go copy to another project. You can, by the way, copy to this project another one. Again, if you need, you can copy here. But you can also copy to another project. And then it gives you the list of all your projects. So let's say I'm copying to my project from scratch.
Okay.
Let's see what happened. Let me go to the project from scratch. And here is the city history.
Oh, and this tab you can still drag forward and backward, right? Like a tool.
Yes, you can still drag tabs.
Okay.
Absolutely. So all the functionalities for tabs are copy this. Let's say you need to copy this again. Okay. Where is it? Oh, it's working on it. It's working on the copy, I think. Oh, that's weird. No? Something went wrong. Did I copy workspace 1 or did I copy let me do it again. Copy to another project. Copy here. Yeah, I copied workspace 1. That's why.
Okay.
Here it is. So city history here and city history here. So yes, so you can copy it to the same project or to another project. So you actually have the entire catalog with all its tabs to use in your custom project if you need to. Okay. Another thing, you have functionalities on the bottom here. This here, the arrow allows you to select multiple objects together and move them at the same time.
Oh, okay.
The next to it is the presentation mode. Let's say that the student finished the project and they want to present it to the class. Then they have arrows on the top. It turns it into something like a PowerPoint. And then they have arrows moving from tab to tab, and they can discuss with their team. So that's the idea of the presentation mode. Then you can zoom into something and you can zoom out of it and you can zoom back to normal. Every single one of this, you, the teacher, and the students can comment. So you click here on the object, it opens up the commenting box. And actually, let me take you to the classroom because this needs to be in the classroom, not here. So let me take you to one of the projects in the classroom. So let's say that I'm opening one of these brainstorming ones and I'm going in here and I'm commenting. And this is a great idea. And then I'm commenting and here's the number showing up that shows to the student that, oh, there is a comment. So when Elizabeth, when Sid or Benjamin are coming in here, they will come check it out, see, and now they can reply here. Okay, so students can comment with each other and you can comment as a teacher on what they did. Okay.
Okay.
So commenting is there. The last part, and this is, I need to show you a finished project for that purpose. Let me go to the catalog and to completed projects. And this is, you can click on the 3 dots and go to show history. And in show history, oh, there's more, just a minute. You can see who contributed what at what time. So any addition to this object, you know, will be recorded here. Like I said, we are planning to add this to a report that's going to be here very soon, and you don't have to go to from object to object. The other thing that I did not show you is the, and I'm going to show this one to you. This is the one that Dul on the top is called the content library. Okay. Now the content library is everything that is being created here is stored in the content library. Every single thing. You know, here is we just created an effect tile. If we need to use another one, you know, in another tab, then we can come here, copy to workspace, and here it is. So there's another one. So everything, every single object that you are typing or creating is stored in the content library. These are the recent ones, all the recent ones, and it shows you what type of additions were made. Like, you know, this is analysis style, these are questions. It shows you, it has an icon. But when this overflows, then it categorizes them by type. All the text is going to be here. All the questions are going to be here. Components are going to be here, and so on. Now, when do I like to use this? You know, many times you want to present information. Let's say that I'm doing a project about animals, and I have a tab about each animal. You know? And then I want to make a compare and contrast between all these animals. Now, in each tab, I created all the characteristics, described them and everything. Now, I don't want to go to the table and retype everything. I can now drop these characteristics from, from the content library to that new tab that creates a compare and contrast between them. Okay, so that's just allowing you to present information in different ways and not having to retype or redo or anything. This is also the place where you can, let's say that I'm saying, okay, I don't need this. I'm going, and any object in Project Pulse, nothing is deleted permanently. If you need to get rid of something, just click on the 3 dots and go to archive. It archives it. But let's say that you archived something and you want to restore it because nothing is deleted permanently. You go again to the content library, but this time you are selecting where it says show archive. You're switching there to show archive. And here it is. This is the object we just archived, and we can restore. We can click on it and restore, and it puts it back in the same place. Okay. So that's where you actually restore objects that were deleted. And last part, and for that purpose, I need to go out of this and just log in as a teacher. One last thing, and this is how to get help. So teachers, and this is just for teachers, by the way, this is just teachers, have this little icon here, the one that you see here, the blue with the little disk icon, okay? And when you click on it, then it opens up and it says, send us a message.
Oh.
And then you can send a message. You can say, this is not working for me or whatever, you know? And then just click on it. And I'm going to get a message that says that this is whatever is not working. Okay. And I can respond, and it tells you that we will respond soon. I just already got a message on my phone, on my watch. And it also has, and let me just show you. It also has, you can search our articles or support articles. So let's say that you want to know how to import your classes. You type in the word class, the keyword, and it gives you all the articles in our support system here that have something to do with class. And you can go through it and go into the article and check them out. Okay, so that's another possibility. Another way to get to our support articles is to click on the question mark in the top right corner. And when you do that, it takes you to all our content library here, and you can select, go and find whatever you need. In addition to that, I'm going to send you in the email that I promised you. I'm going to send you our YouTube channel. In the YouTube channel, you have different things in the YouTube channel. Let me just show you. So we have playlists, different playlists. We have a playlist, for example, that that shows how to use its functionality, how to do each functionality in very short time. Like how do a teacher sign up? How do students sign up with the link? How to import a Google Classroom, or how to catalog and clone a project, how to create. These are all short videos focused only on that one functionality. And they are not more, I think that the longest is 7 or 8 minutes. That's it. Okay. And as you know, as well as, and I actually recommend that you maybe also check out our instruction videos. We have a series of instruction videos that, what is project-based learning, project-based training, the Project Pulse basic training, the advanced training, implementing project-based learning. This is a very good one, and so on. So, I recommend that you go through those. It can help you if you want to. You don't have to. That's it. That's basically it. This is the entire Project Pulse. I think I covered everything. Any questions that you may have?
Not at this point. I just need to get hands-on experience myself before I actually have any questions. But
Okay.
I actually thought a lot about what you said yesterday. Like this is a management platform versus some of those are content platform, or actually the day before yesterday. Yeah, actually today after you introduced, I think that that point is very much clear that where Project Pulse stands and how it want to assist a PBL. I think this
That's right.
is really great. Yeah.
Cool. All right, wonderful. So let me just yeah, so that's it. So this is the entire thing. As I said, I'm gonna send you immediately the email with all your information.
Okay.
All
And
right.
yeah, I look forward to use it and shoot you messages if I have any questions.
Absolutely. Please feel free to reach out. You have my email address, and you also
Right.
have the ability through this tool here to reach out to me. Any of those will work.
Okay, will do.
All right, perfect. Okay.
All right, thank you
Bye.
for the time and have a
Absolutely.
great weekend.
Okay, bye, you too.